Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to We Need to Talk. This is another episode, and we are now currently on episode 460. Special shout out to everybody who's been watching and tuning in. Shout out to my replay gang as well. Shout out to all of my virtual coaching clients. All of you are much appreciated, and I want to definitely say, um, happy to see your progress, happy to see your growth, and definitely excited to continue to work with you to manifest and create the life that you want, minus the barriers that are affecting you, that are keeping you back from certain things that you would like to acquire, especially in the dating and relationship realm, and help support your breaking free of the things that bind you to those toxic dating cycles. Kind of what brings, or which brings me to my topic tonight, which is independence. I wanted to go with the symbolism of today being Independence Day to get a chance to discuss how important it is to embrace the true meaning of independence. If we look it up in the dictionary, independence actually means being free from outside control. And I would argue that a lot of us, especially in the dating realm, are subjected to internal control. Internal control at the hands of fear, internal control at the hands of self doubt, low self esteem, anxiety, scarcity mindset, the failure to push for what we want, the failure to adhere to our dating standards. For me, that would be a sense of internal control that may have begun or started and had its origin as outside control. If we think about childhood trauma, which is usually the genesis of our eventual toxic dating patterns or toxic dating cycles, we would know that what is internal and controlling us internally was once something that controlled us outwardly. If we're talking about the family environment, we don't have a whole lot of control in that. We don't have a control over what school we go to, over how mom and dad treat us, over how, what type of environment we're in, what type of neighborhood we're in. So when the control is outward, it's communicated to us. We interpret it a certain way. We learn about ourselves by virtue of how we are treated at a young age, where we are impressionable and don't have a lot of control over our environment. So independence should represent the freedom from what once was outside control, the freedom from what now controls us and directs our moves by way of sending those emotional signals, sending that flood of anxious thoughts that prevent us from getting the things that we deserve, prevent us from being able to maintain relationships with those who we deserve, that push us to attracting and staying connected to individuals who are treating us far less than what we deserve, who don't represent the best of us, but represent the most familiar elements of our upbringing and our timeline. Independence should represent the freedom and the disconnection from that toxicity being at the helm and steering the ship and acting unconsciously and subconsciously, directing your life in a poor direction, directing your life into the wrong romantic situations, directing your life into the wrong friendships, directing your life into the wrong career positions, and circulating and perpetuating fear, negative mindset, negative expectations, negative self-talk, self-sabotage, and self-punishment, guilt, shame, and all of the above. So although today outwardly and from a societal and national standpoint, this is representative of independence for different reasons, I think, it's important to take what's symbolic for maybe other historical time frames and use it for serving ourselves and our personal goals. You can celebrate any holiday you want, however you want, and drain and utilize the advantages in a celebratory fashion. And if you have been in a position where you are now independent or free of certain mindsets, certain people, certain circumstances, certain patterns of behavior, you should definitely celebrate and set off those fireworks for yourself and your journey and what you've accomplished and what you've been able to create for yourself, what you've been able to free yourself from, and how you've been able to move forward differently, leaving certain chains behind, leaving those cuffs behind, leaving your former bound environment and being almost a slave to a mindset that did not serve you on multiple occasions. I mean, we all have a timeline, we all have, a history, and we can all say that there was times where we were physically doing things and kind of maneuvering in autopilot. Now, autopilot means that we're not consciously in control, but there is a control mechanism. And I think that control mechanism should always be us. And we should always be conscious of what we're doing and doing things that work in our best interest and work in our favor. So today is about true independence and leaving that sense of control and being controlled essentially by the perpetrators of our current mindset and the people who are involved in creating an environment that has caused damage, and freeing ourselves from that every day of the week, because it's a journey, it's a process. And hopefully you guys are on that journey, working through that process, continuing to create new plateaus and new milestones, and leveling up consistently, and having that self-awareness, reflecting on that growth and celebrating it. I can't stress this enough, as far as having that reward system, that celebration system in place, and being and taking note of those things that you have conquered, those things that you have left behind, those things that you have freed yourself from. It doesn't matter if you stayed in a bad marriage for 5 years. It wasn't 10. There's a reason for that. Doesn't matter if you've been in a situationship for 2 years. It wasn't 30. There's a reason for that. There's realizations that come. And when they come, if you act on them, that's a choice. If you don't and you ignore them and you stay and tuck your tail and remain fearful, that's a choice as well. But we need to be in a position where we are always celebrating the greater independence and the actions, therefore, like that, continue to free us more and more from the habits, the patterns, the mindsets that have caused our destruction or caused our own sabotage thus far. So salute to everybody who's on that awakening journey, on that awareness journey, continuing to create new milestones, new progress, and take the time today to celebrate that. Shout out to Dawn. I see Dawn's in the building. Shout out to Warmer Black. I see you in here. I appreciate you guys' support as always. Hopefully you guys are in a positive mood, celebratory and enjoying yourselves, being safe out there, treating yourselves in a lot of different ways, um, and remaining reflective on where you, where you come from and how far you've come. And, there's always more to go, but we have to reflect and celebrate what we have conquered thus far in order to make it all worth it. So thank you guys for listening once again. Stay tuned, keep posted. I will keep you guys updated on, upcoming projects and everything like that. And blessings to you, positivity and all of that. you know I will definitely be back tomorrow evening as usual. You guys have a great work week as that begins next week as well. And just continue to grow, continue to process, continue to progress in your own way. I appreciate all of you guys deeply, and I'll see you next time.